Welcome to Stories from the Sidelines, the podcast coming out of the media gang, where we talk to the unsung heroes of paintball, such as media, refs, commentators, etc. Today we have Phil Morgan. He's a ref. Introduce yourself, Phil.
Hello. How are you? Good evening. From my heart to yours.
Hey, Rob. How are you doing today?
Good God. I'm all right. It's been a long day.
It was a long day.
Good news. Cookies are done.
Cookies are done.
Cookies are done.
What
You have a
kind?
cookie?
This is a fact. Bryce has completed making cookies.
I'm gonna get some
Sam,
cookies.
Sam is getting cookies soon.
I'm gonna eat my first cookie in like 3 weeks.
Congrats. But
Yeah,
you're down a bunch of weight though. This is
Yeah.
awesome.
25 pounds almost.
Yeah, dude.
That's
you deserve
amazing.
a cookie.
Been doing it for like a month, and I'm down.
Eat a cookie and then do like 20 push-ups. You'll be fine.
Oh no.
Just do 30 air squats.
Oh no. I mean, I'll do it off screen, but not on screen.
Just go run 5 miles for one
5
cookie.
miles. Right now. 5
Yeah.
miles for one cookie.
1 kilometer.
Yo.
Oh, it's warm.
And it's warm. My man just got hit in a warm cookie right now.
And I'm so jelly.
Better or worse than a Jam Ross cookie?
Oh, way worse. Way worse.
Oh.
Nothing beats a Jam Ross cookie.
Shout out Jonah and his family making best cookies alive.
Okay.
Thanks. Wait, have you had one of those cookies, Phil?
No.
Yo, you gotta next
did.
NXL event, you gotta hunt
Okay.
down Jonah. Actually, really, it's more like his dad. His dad is super nice. His dad is sweet. But yeah, hunt
Okay.
him down, and like if you message him before the event, be like, "Hey, if you're bringing cookies, I'd love to try one. I'll probably try to save one for you."
It's a little difficult. I mean, yeah, if I could get the time to actually message them and say, hey, I'm going to be at, I don't know what field until, Friday, Thursday, when they send me my field assignments and say, you're going to be here all weekend. Be ready. Okay. There's really not a lot of time to leave. You don't get a lot of time to actually walk away and see the vendors or, see anyone, see anything past your
the field.
people. Yeah. Past the field, past everything that's happening on your field.
I gotcha. So I mean, we got a lot of people, a lot of viewers right now. Really appreciate them all. So let's bring it back and start from the beginning. Who are you? Why are you here? And what do you do within paintball?
My name's Philip Morgan. I've been reffing since 2013. That was my first ever cup, World Cup, PSP. It was, oh my God. And what an event that was, coming from the back line. Now I am currently a head ref within the NXL to the MVPS. I work for Social Paintball. Chad has been trying to get me to go to EPL. It just doesn't really line up with some of my scheduling and work and everything. But, it just came down to a point where all of the grind and all of the time worked out to where now I am a head ref, and it's been a lot of fun. Honestly, it's been pretty cool. Met a lot of really, really cool people. Have met, just some of the greatest people ever. Ride or die type people. If I called them, they'd be states over, and they'd still come over. Shout out to even my buddy Jack Chalker. If I called him right now, he'd show up.
Nice.
Jack's a good person.
That's
Great
awesome,
person. And, you even with that, like you meet a lot of players. I have never played.
Really?
No, I've never played.
You've never played?
Mm-mm.
Not
I
even
played
like a
woods ball.
Not.
No, I played woods ball. I played one.
Okay, so you played.
once.
Okay.
Yeah, well, sure. I played, scenario ball.
Yeah.
I get
Do you play
drunk
Wayne's
off
World?
my entire face. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, you play. You play that. That's
I
fine.
get just obliterated, and then I go and play paintball. Mostly run around with a rocket launcher and blow up friggin' vuvuzela at people.
He's
Nice.
the best. He's the best LOL rocket we got.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really care. When you get shot at all, throughout your entire time of playing reffing paintball, just getting shot by people, taking lanes all the time. What's 1 or 2 lanes and there's no ref to call you out? I'll go charge that tank, no problem.
Okay.
What's it going to be?
Yeah. No, I support that.
But I played one day for ICPL mechanical 5-man. One day. That's my first ever tournament style that I've ever played. And that was last year. And it's to think that I've never played and spent all this time reffing. Oh my God, dude, I watch some of these people do some crazy things. And it comes to the point where I even ask players, like, why did you make that move? Did you hear your teammate talking? Like, it just comes down to very simple fundamentals that I guess you would think you wouldn't really think about as like a skilled player. And even then, like, I don't even call myself a skilled player. I just watch all these people like, why wouldn't you do this? If you know someone's in the monster and you're in the monster, like, go stab him. Yeah, you're going to trade out, but go stab him.
So I actually want to touch on that because you said you've seen some players do some really weird things, crazy things.
Besides, you shoot me in the throat. Yes. Yes.
All right.
This man got a 4-pack in 3-man. 4-pack in 3-man.
I was
The
new.
game was over. He's standing in tower on probably about the 40-yard line, middle of the field.
Jesus.
The circle of referees were closing in. We're closing in because it's just him. There's no one left. Everyone died. There was a penalty. This man snaps out and shoots me right in the throat.
The worst.
Listen, all right, listen, Rob, can you blame me?
Field.
All the refs are moving in. They do that when it's a low body situation.
I
They're
can
moving in.
100% blame you.
No, you weren't there. You weren't there. We won the point. 100%. It's okay. Like, the point ran out, but the team didn't want to play another point, so we won the point.
And time ran out. After he shot
time
me
ran out.
It was like, oh my God.
You shot him after?
No, I shot him before, then the time ran out.
It was like 7 seconds.
Yeah, then the time ran out.
Dick.
And then the buzzer rang, and then they thought I had hung it, so they were like, they're already done. So they chose to not play the next point. So we won that point. It doesn't matter how it happened. It happened.
I know. It was just crazy. They were like, oh, they won the point. We quit. You
guys could have won. Yeah, you guys could have played.
That's Jesus.
It comes back to, like, all you had to do is go ask the scorekeeper. Please go ask the scorekeeper. If you don't know what's going on and what's going on with the score, like,
ask
the scorekeeper.
You know, that's like their job.
My God, it is their job. It's their only job.
So besides that,
I would say their only.
Yeah, they have two
jobs. They got to like organize the people, like off the field. Come on.
They do have a lot of things that they have to do, and it comes down to, like, herding cats. If I'm going to be completely honest.
Oh, 100% it's herding cats. Especially like if it's like
hard enough to herd my own paintball team.
Yeah, 3-man or like even I couldn't even imagine being a scorekeeper at the 10-man field. It sounds miserable. It sounds horrible.
Oh my God! Especially with all of the rum and alcohol that it just appears.
Yeah, of course. Of course, it just magically appears. It's not in a glass bottle. Never in a glass bottle though. It's always in a plastic bottle. So it's within code.
It is within code.
It is within code.
And it's never in the actual original container sometimes.
No, because it's within code. Of course.
Okay. Oh, let's bring it back.
Yeah.
Besides me shooting you in the neck, you've ref for 7 years, been head ref for a few years. You've been around at least the country. I don't know about the world. I don't know how far you've actually traveled.
No, unfortunately, I've not been able to. Wilson has been wanting me to go to Canada. I had DMAR wanted me to go out to Russia, and I wanted to. It would be awesome. But at the same time, like, I'm pretty sure one of the last times I spoke to Wilson about it, when he went to Russia, he refed from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m.
37 hours. Or it was like 32 or 37 hours.
Yeah. I mean, they got some, like, hot food.
And you have a smoke break after every 2 matches. I mean, very, very important. But
yeah, after that many hours, yeah.
What kind of smoke break?
I mean, I gotta have that cigarette. Gotta have those cigarettes like once every 2 hours.
Well, so after hearing that beautiful story of 32 hours of reffing, I can't imagine why Phil wouldn't want to go overseas and ref.
Yeah.
But onto that question I was trying to go to. So 7 years, a lot of places, a lot of teams, hundreds of hours, hundreds of points. Craziest thing you've ever seen.
Craziest thing I've ever seen.
Ever.
I still tell this story. Oh, it was the best thing. Oh my God. I don't know who this guy is. I know he played for Temple University. This was NCPA, like,
What year?
man, I think it was 2014. 2014, because it was probably the second, my actual first year. They pulled me in. I did World Cup. I did Texas, and then it was because NCPA is always around 420 for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's always the third weekend in April.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why.
I wonder why. But why in Florida? We're not even a legal state. God damn it.
I don't know.
College.
Yeah, college. But go on. What did this person from Temple University do?
Homie dives in to the snake. And it's the leading bunker, I believe, was a Dorito, actually. Like the God bunker was a Dorito. So he dove in and he dislocated his shoulder. And he just gets in the bunker, is up on his knees, and is screaming. He switches the gun. He grabs the gun, like he left the gun where he had landed.
Are you sure this is Temple?
Pretty sure it was Temple.
Because I went to Temple, so I thought you were about to say some stupid ass shit that we did. Like I was on that team 2014. And I don't remember anybody dislocating their shoulder at all.
It might not. I don't know if it was Temple. I know the team only had 5 players because
it definitely wasn't us. We had a ton of players.
Did you have the guy with the big red beard? Like he had like a really long goatee and a super mustache.
Nope.
Okay.
Not us.
Texas A&M, maybe. I think same colors.
No, it was Cornell.
Was it Cornell? The coach?
Yeah. So NC State is in red. Cornell's in red. Texas A&M is in red, and A&M is really more like a maroon color.
Yeah, like maroonish.
It wasn't A&M because A&M went on. They had.
Was it a bear? Was it a bear?
For the player that dislocated his shoulder?
No, on the logo.
For the player that dislocated his shoulder.
Yeah. For them.
More than likely, yes. It was a maroon.
It's Cornell.
It was a maroon. Okay.
Yeah, it's Cornell.
So either way, player dives in. The problem is, player dives in, dislocates his shoulder, leaves the gun behind, grabs it with his left hand, grabs the gun, picks the gun up, sets it in between his legs, reloads the gun. Here's snake 2, snake corner. And he goes, okay. Grabs the fucking gun and goes down the wire, stabs both of these guys. Stabs both of them. And his right arm is flailing behind him. It is the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. Dislocated shoulder, like, didn't take the time to put it back into place, ran down the field with his flailing arm, stabbed 2 people.
Jesus.
Paintball players are built different.
It was the sickest thing. To this day, I've never seen anything more amazing.
Paintball players are built different. You got to think, like, football, they see blood, they take off that jersey. If there's blood on that jersey, you're out of the game until they know you're not in danger. Paintball, you can get stabbed in the middle of the field and you'll still go on if you say you don't want to get out.
Yikes.
Crazy.
Or you can dislocate your shoulder and
or you can get stabbed in the face, and then they also give you, chin strap rules.
Yes.
Yo. Tell me how you really feel about chin straps.
I think it's dumb that the refs have to wear it.
Wait.
No. Oh my God. No. No.
Listen. Well, no. Do you not have to, or do you just not?
I wear a chin strap. I just wear it super loose. I wear it extremely loose. I'm not going to lie. Like it's not really going to do anything if it slips out of the way.
Yeah.
But at the same point, like my chin strap has saved me multiple times. And to the point where it's like, I don't see why we never played with chin straps, because if you lose your mask, it's like losing your helmet in space. Like
it's dangerous.
Not only are you suffocating, whatever, but like if you get shot in the face, you're fucked. You're so fucked. Yeah. How many people do you know that have been shot in the face and it's okay? They're okay.
I worked at Hot Shots, man. I know that there's not very many of them.
Not many. You got to be super lucky. Like take one to the forehead or something. Like if you get hit in the soft meat around this area, shattered, like fucked.
Yep.
No, that's no bueno.
And if the paintball explodes in a certain way, you're lacerated all across the cornea. But he didn't take the round to the face, to the eye. He took the ball exploded on the side of his head, and he had 17 lacerations to his cornea.
Jesus, did he go blind?
No, he lucked out. That was, I don't even know what event that was. Dallas, when he came around the W and got stabbed in the face.
It was something like that.
True.
Yeah, true.
When they decided to put the block in the way, like they put the mini cakes after that point.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Keep going.
Huh?
You told me to hold.
No, I guess me and you just talk now. He's probably doing something.
Great, but that is definitely the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's great. I've seen some paintball players do some stuff when they're injured, but not usually like when someone dislocates their shoulder. That's it. They're usually done for that point, or they wait until they get it back in.
I saw another guy do something pretty cool once. He it's the same thing, like dislocated shoulder, but he slammed his shoulder into the ground and then picked his gun up with the shoulder he slammed into the ground and then started gun battling like
out of
the Dorito.
Actually, I have some footage of a few people dislocating their shoulder, and they'll dislocate it. They'll sit there for a few seconds, and then you'll hear like a, and then they're like, "All right, I'm back," and it's like, I
want to know how many people have dislocated their shoulder in the time of playing paintball versus the amount of shoulder injuries for CrossFit. Because I know CrossFit's pretty high, but there's a
lot of paintball.
Oh my God, when they dive in on their tanks.
Mm-hmm. Injuries, I mean, paintball doesn't have like injuries, but like a lot of potential injuries.
Doesn't have injuries?
No, not like a lot of injuries.
Does. People just don't talk about their injuries until like way later on. What they'll end up doing is we man the fuck up and go and play paintball, or we, limp around and bitch about that we can't play paintball because we're stupid, or I made a really dumb, but no one talks about the fact that like there have been a couple of these guys throughout the years that have gotten injured and they're done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that was it. That was the injury that needed. Yeah. I've definitely seen a few of those. Not like where I don't know if they come back, but like some pretty tough ones to come back from.
Oh yeah. Torn ACL for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen one of those.
You've been doing it for 7 years, you're a head ref. Do you personally have any ambition to go onto the pro field at all? Like any? Or are you just content?
I honestly don't really want to go onto the pro field. Nothing against the pro field. Yeah. Nothing against pro paintball. It just comes down to a point where I feel like if I'm going to do something with paintball that's going to be something higher than a head referee, it's going to be managing more people or doing something to help make the refs' lives a little bit easier. You know, I've seen it all. I've not seen it all in the sense of like what Shane Owens or Buddha or even Brandon, these Florida referees. And then even with that, like you've got Bobby Welch, who has been through all kinds of different things. Bucky, we've Timmy Stapletits.
Yeah.
we've got a ton of different people that we've seen a lot of different things, and we've worked for a lot of different leagues. And the biggest complaint across all of it truly is consistency with the referees and consistency with the treatment of your referees. So, it's tough when you show up to an event, it's Saturday and Sunday, and you've only got snacks for Saturday. And they tell you that you're shit out of luck for Sunday when it's Sunday, and you're like, hey, Webcast ate my whole thing of snacks. My refs don't have snacks.
Yeah.
What do we do? Oh, we don't have snacks for you. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Give me some oranges. Bring me some Gatorade. Some trail mix. Something. Please do not
bring hungry.
Me no just something to keep these guys alive.
Yeah. It's rough out there.
The wildest thing is like, do you know how hard it is to actually have cold water?
It depends on the league.
It does depend on the league. And we did see a lot of very warm water throughout the end of PSP and even the beginning of NXL. Warm water gets into your system faster like that. Like, there's simple, stupid complaints. But it's not a stupid complaint.
No, I mean you're hot out there. Like I'm a fan and I'm a proprietor of, room temperature water is the best water. But when they're out there reffing, because I reffed for a little bit, so I have a general knowledge of this as well. I want cold water because it'll help me counteract the 110-degree weather I'm currently standing in wearing all this gear.
And hold the cold water. Like, you'll see me holding a bottle of water 9 times out of 10.
On your neck.
Just holding it.
Mm-hmm.
Just holding it. You cool down faster by holding that cold bottle of water to your wrist.
Yep.
And letting it slowly, circulate through your system and cooling your body down. Don't ever, pour cold water on your back if you're feeling like you're overheating. You're going in shock. Like, you can absolutely hurt yourself.
Yeah.
But, it does come down to, we've seen a lot of different things throughout the different leagues as to the treatment of referees and even to the treatment of players. It sucks. There's times where you're having to run points super fast because they've given you a schedule that really doesn't fit your time constraints, and they don't want to break it apart to fields. And those referees on the different fields may not be to the par of the referees on the one specific field. So, ultimately, I would like to not have my boys be trapped in a situation that we've all been trapped in, where you're at World Cup and it's dark and they're bringing out lights and you're there until 7:30, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and everyone's going to dinner at 9. We don't. That kind of stuff shouldn't be happening. It happens, and it gets blown over. But that's where I want to make that kind of connection. Like having a player run a league is honestly the smartest thing ever. But having a referee run your referees,
that's smarter.
Yeah, especially when you've been. God, you could hire any of these people that have been doing it for years. Get them off the field. At a certain point, we're tired of getting shot at. We're tired of arguing with people. It has gotten only worse over the past few years.
Yeah, I definitely could see there being a huge advantage for a ref doing it, especially since, as you said, a lot of the fields sometimes on one field the refs might not be up to par, and I've noticed that a lot of leagues, there's no names because it's a very widespread problem, I think. But they'll put their number 1 through 20 whatever refs on the fields, like the webcast fields, not calling out anyone that has a webcast, just like examples. Like, if they have a webcast, they probably have some of the better refs on there, which is completely fine. But they don't.
It's your premier field.
Yeah, you have to. Field. No, and I get that. Same thing as pro. Like, they have pro field, they'll have their best refs on there and stuff too. But like normal leagues that don't even have webcast fields, they'll have their main field have like all the top refs.
Necessarily on the pro field are the best referees. They're the best for the pro field.
Yeah.
And they do exactly what should be done. Like, they do know, a lot of them do know the rule book through and through. But there's a point of it where it's like you're putting on a show. So not everything's going to get thrown.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, I said, like, they like to be at that level, and and I know, and I'm sure a lot of people that potentially are watching know it. You have to have no biases. Like, I might be friends with Kyle Spica, but I can't have a bias. Exactly. You're there to throw.
I'll call you out, Mr.
Exactly.
Cousins.
And that's the thing. It's like,
you're my friend and I love you, but if you get shot in the hand and you put it into the bunker, I'm going to throw a penalty on you. I don't care what division you are playing. If I see you get shot in the hand and put it into a bunker, I'm going to call you on a penalty. And you're my boy. I'll drink a beer with you afterward, whatever, man. Like, you're my boy. They're like, God damn it. Don't do that.
Yeah, you're messing up. And that's the thing with the pro field refs, and a lot of them, that's part of the reason they're on there, is because They could be friends with
They are
whoever, but
unbiased.
they are unbiased. Like I've
They
seen,
are unbiased.
how much did you pay the refs? The refs don't get paid anything extra. Whoever wins, they don't get paid. They want to be paid more. And I mean, I don't want to say it, but I'm sure that if a ref got
you
paid,
throw
they
money at
more.
them? No.
Yeah, no one's ever. The only team that I've ever seen throw money at somebody was Brawl when they won, and they didn't throw at anyone specifically, but they didn't win because of that. The refs have no biases, and that's why they're on the pro field. If the refs start showing bias, they get taken off, and another ref gets brought on.
Heat?
Huh?
Who's the owner of Houston Heat?
Sarge. It's what I don't remember. It's one of those, I believe, unless he's
Lala.
Yaya.
Yeah, not Lala. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah. We were in Chicago, and this was something that this was the greatest thing ever that somebody could have done for us. Honestly, like we were in Chicago. We hit a strip club, and Yaya was there, and he was like, "I'm super sorry." There were several of the pro referees that were there. Like, "I'm super sorry for the way I acted and the way we were. Here's bottle service." Like that was awesome. That's not buying the referees. That's like, I appreciate you because you understand the raw human. And like, we don't get paid crap sometimes.
And I bet the next day, the refs threw penalties they needed to be on him.
It was Sunday.
Pulled him out. It was Sunday, so it doesn't even matter.
It was Sunday. It was over. The first place we went to was trash. The second place was an organ donation center. I'm not kidding.
Oh?
We packed like 20 people into a van, hobo style.
Oh. Jeez, I wonder where Rob went. I'm just gonna kind of go through some questions. I haven't even been paying attention to the chat because I have too many things open.
I rant and I apologize.
No, you're completely fine, man. I'm gonna see if there's anything going on in the chat that anyone wanted to know. You know, it was Sarge, by the way, Randy Smith. Yep, and that's what. So that he's the one who owns Heat, not Yaya.
The one who owns Heat.
That's Sarge.
Not Yaya. Okay. Sarge owns Heat. Okay. Brownie Brown has a tattoo of Houston Heat because it was a bet. It was a bet that he had made, and he lost hardcore. And he finally admitted to it, and finally like went and did it. But he's got a huge Brownie Brown. Cornelius Brown has got this gigantic Houston Heat tattoo on himself, and it's amazing.
See, and that's things that are just fun though. That's not any bias or anything. No. So I want to ask you. This is just something that just popped into my mind, but I'm gonna use SPL and MVPS as an example just because that is the most recent thing. But
yeah, this is
you guys. It's the same crew for the most part, reffing SPL as MVPS and NXL for the most part. It's like same core group. I'll say it's you, it's Mike. It's usually it's a core group. Same guys that go to both leagues.
Yes and no.
For you guys, the core, the ones that always are
Florida
reffing.
Referees. Yes, sir.
The Florida referees are all reffing the same events, but for some reason, people in other leagues, they seem to think that the reffing, which it could be better because of other people, but they seem to think that the ref crew is completely different per. And it's not. So do you care? Like, is there definitely, have you noticed a big change in reffing from those leagues to the other? Or do you think that it's ref different for a certain way? Like I know that SPL is 5-man, not X-ball. So it's ref different because it's not the same rules. Thoughts,
questions, prayers,
Yes.
Okay. SPL is an entirely different rule book.
Mm-hmm.
And some of what happens with the SPL stuff comes down to pay.
Okay.
We, as referees, like to get paid. And that also comes down to the MVPS. Now, the guys that have been doing it forever do expect a standard of pay. And we get shit on all fucking day. I had a kid. We're not even going to name the team. It doesn't even matter. I don't even care, honestly. But like, it's not the first time this has ever happened to me. This is just the most recent time this has ever happened. I had a kid snap out of the Dorito side. Whap, whap, whap. And there was nobody there. No one was there. But every time he snapped out, he made sure, because I threw a penalty. I threw a fat penalty on these guys. And it did affect the game, but they affected the game. And I can't help that. I really can't. I cannot. That is one thing that I do try to be, is black and white. Like, it is the rule or it is not the rule, you know? And I will absolutely always admit when I am wrong. And if you ever think that I don't, you can ask George. Like, it's great. This man, I had a 4-hour phone conversation with him after Vegas. But the issue is, it is hard to pull people when a lot of us have been wronged by a lot of leagues. We don't want to come back and ref paintball because it's not worth it. As much as we love it, it doesn't become worth it to be shit on by players and to be yelled at by players and to be paid a certain amount and then be there till dark and be told that you can't get paid until you tear down the field when everyone else is gone is unacceptable. Yeah. No one, especially because it's Sunday and you've got to drive back because there's no hotel for Sunday night.
Yeah.
You know, you got to drive back to your home. You got to go to work Monday. If you don't have to go to work, you lucked out, you know. But most of us that are reffing, like, most of the guys are reffing to make extra money. They need to. So when it comes down to, like, people needing money, they're just going to hire anyone. They will. And it goes for any paintball league. Truly. It really does. So the issue comes down to not paying or respecting your referees in the way that they should be. Now, I would say that Israel takes care of his people. He does. He absolutely does. And it took a little bit. And not saying anything bad in the sense of, like, I love Israel. The man, he's a great dude. He has done a lot for me. And same with Chad. They both have done a lot for me in my life. Like, I've had a lot of really good conversations with both of them that have come down to even very personal issues. But, like, it is a business. And I do understand where you couldn't pay your people in the beginning. But, like, I'm going to be upfront and honest about how much we get paid. The NXL, I make $275 a day.
That's not bad. And
it's not bad.
All your expenses are covered, right?
Correct. They cover my flight. Not this year because COVID has wiped everyone's budget out. It has just demolished everything. It has hurt our economy to the... We're not even going to get into that.
I want to say a quick disclaimer real fast. Phil is a head ref, so his pay is going to be different than others, especially Correct. With the flight and stuff like that. And
at a certain point, there comes a point where, you know, people come in to their first event. The first event ever, made $100 a day. They make shit. The next event, 125. That was PSP. You know what my PSP training was? I had a beer in my hand, and I said, hey, I know paintball. And they were like, cool, here's a certificate. Bye-bye. And then I got raped on the back line. But for $100 a day, I understand why I got raped for $100 a day. Whatever. It was fine. I learned a lot. 125 the next, 150, 200. 200 became after 3-4 years, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you got to earn your stripes. Like, you can't expect to, like, even if you know Absolutely the rule book really well. And like, I have a buddy of mine who he goes to NXL events. He, like, helps out his teams and whatnot. And he started to ref a little bit. His name is Brian Catania. And the kid, like, he is the only person that I know that has not just read, but knows the rule book, like, front to back. Like, he knows the whole rule book. Like he's that guy that you want on a team. Like if you're gonna argue a call, he's like, send him. He knows the rule book. He'll pull out the page and the section and the paragraph of and have a calm, cool, collected conversation of why a call was bad, and it's crazy.
I'd love to have that conversation with him. That at the same time, like what you just said, calm, cool conversation, understanding the rules, the understanding of the rules to the level of like the sub clauses, like rule 4.5 whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Having that ability to have a conversation with someone and they're calmly addressing you.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference in what a referee is going to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we're still people. We are still people. We do not take being screamed at very well.
Yeah. No. Like you catch more flies with honey than you do with something bad. I can't. I forget that. I forget the end of it. But yeah, you know what I mean. So I mean, in that same vein, like there's only a certain amount of people at ref, and especially like at local leagues.
It takes a crazy person to do it.
Yeah. So
you gotta really hate yourself, like truly.
I mean, I got a question for you. Have you ever had an instance of somebody on the field saying that I don't want this ref on my field because he has an association with a program that is playing in this league right now, and it's unfair? Not necessarily you, but like a ref that you are working with is saying that a team is coming up to you, or is coming up to the league owner and says, "I need that ref off the field because he has an association with one of the teams that is playing this tournament, and it's an unfair advantage, even though he might be the best ref on the field, and like he's not really throwing.
Oh, always. Yeah, I have one referee consistently. It's my boy James May. Mm-hmm. And he may have a mouth on him and he may say some stupid shit. I love him to death. I love him. He's also one of those ride or fucking die type people. But he has let his mouth get the best of him in certain situations with people that he could have just said nothing.
So, but that's coming off of like saying something.
He does play for a team that.
Okay. He plays for Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Gotcha.
I would have, for example, the Raptors, the Tampa Bay Raptors. Mm-hmm. Now they have a personal issue. One of the players has a personal issue. Okay. And it comes down to something that was he said, she said, whatever. But it also is because Shenanigans did play in the social events, and they are now moving into MVPS, and they don't. If James is on the field, even Johnny, his younger brother, who is playing for Shenanigans, but hasn't really played any of the tournaments for Shenanigans, like now you can't be on the field, and that comes down to like, I know. Listen. You laugh, Sam, but you know. Mm-hmm. If you're going to have some kind of bias, I will literally stab you.
Yes.
Like, I'm not joking. Like, this is a game of unbiased paintball. And it has to be unbiased.
Yeah.
It's the game of the ball. The ball never lies. That's it. Like, the ball never lies. It doesn't. And yes, we make ignorant calls. We do. We're dumb sometimes. We're people. You make ignorant freaking moves. You decide to wipe loader hits when there was no reason to even touch your loader. You could have let it slide and let a referee that had no experience come in and look at it and be like, yeah, it's Rob. No, you decided to wipe it right in front of me, and you left this whole stream of like this momentum paint, and I had to give you a gross major. And then you're yelling at me. Nah, I'm not dumb. I've been doing this for too long. I got shot for way too long. It's like Dexter. It's the blood analyst, the blood splatter analyst. It's paint splatter analysm.
Can I just real fast ask where Rob went for an hour?
Where did you go?
Well, it was like maybe 10, 15 minutes. I'm having construction done. Yeah, I'm having construction done in the apartment, so the electrician's been here. So he was like, my parents are away right now, so he was just like showing me all the things that got done, so I could show it off to my parents
What time is
when I
it?
get back.
He's on
9:38.
Eastern time.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm in the same time zone as you, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Jeez, better paying him overtime. Okay. Well, Rob asked a question. Do you have any other questions, Rob? Because I have. I'm gonna look and see
I
right
still
now.
feel like I never really answered the question as to like the whole thing with the social, as to why everyone thinks they're different.
No, you didn't. I will
true.
say, I'm not gonna let you discuss your pay because I don't want anyone to see this and get mad at you.
I'm Sam.
Phil.
This is the last. That was the last event I'm reffing. That's
okay.
not,
Yeah, discuss it.
no. I'm literally informing anyone that wants to know for the fact of we should be getting paid what we should be getting paid.
Yeah, no. If by that means, I just didn't want you to get in trouble. So if it doesn't even matter, it doesn't even matter.
I'm not reffing paintball again. Like, I will go and support teams and do everything.
Wait, you quit as a ref like full time?
Yeah, this was my last event was MVPS, and
Really?
it really just came down to the fact of like the treatment by players and by the league, and I'm just over it.
It's unfortunate.
It was it was simple stuff that could have been fixed, and it's not. Zudel runs an amazing league. He really does. He truly does.
Sweet.
And
sounds like there's a butt in here.
I want to watch his league prosper, and I want to watch him grow.
Yeah.
But
there it is.
Some of the things that did happen, I don't care to go ref on any of that ever again. Like, I'm good. I'm totally good. I may go and help Israel and ref for Israel and teach people and sit there and coach, whatever. Like, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy teaching referees, like, this is what you need to be looking for.
Got a question in the comments from Onel. What was what was the bad treatment from the league? Coming in hot. Here it is.
Onel, I love you, first off.
This is the Q&A.
Oh, it's going to be about Onel.
No, it's not about Onel. Fuck the fact that the fucking...
I really thought he was a good announcer from the last event.
He's a great announcer.
I had no idea who he is, but I think he's a great announcer.
He's a fantastic announcer.
Yeah, shout out.
Let Phil talk.
Onel definitely has a presence versus... he does hold the attention, but at the same time, Onel's question, the bad treatment, it's not necessarily bad treatment. It comes down to like the fucking ignorance. It's split deck. It's 55 minutes. 55 minutes. NXL had it figured out. Chris Rail had it figured out. 55 minutes for split deck. And that is enough time for anything to go the fuck wrong. The bunker blows up. Someone dies. Whatever. I had 3 referees die. I had 4 referees on my field who were 2 events in. I had one guy who had never reffed an event. Kane, I love you to death, and I don't ever want you to stop reffing paintball. You need to continue. But you did not need to be on the webcast field. It was too much, especially with the fact that we were reffing the divisions that we were reffing. These guys were coming in hot. They were playing dirty. They were playing fast paintball.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this as a follow-up question. So is it ignorance, or is it just not understing the staff that's on hand? Could be both. It could be both. This is why I'm at.
Are we talking ignorance from the referees or ignorance from the staff that hired these people? At the same time, like, where did we pull these referees from?
I mean, I think this comes down to more. We had the conversation with Ryan about really the logistics on the back end of pulling the refs for the NXL, how it's done, how CJ really picks and chooses what ref is on what field. So I think correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost sounds like it's just like Zidel's been running a league for what, 2 years now, 3 years,
Uh, 3 or 4.
three or 3 or 4 years now. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound like it's necessarily bad treatment. And I'm going to play a little bit
No,
devil's
it,
advocate here. O'Neill, I
it
got your back
was,
a little
it
bit.
was, and it's nothing to do with O'Neill. And it comes down to just ignorant things. Like, we didn't leave the field at all. I had all of these people that were very, very green. I did not get backup referees. It's Sunday. We're there till 8:30. I knew we were going to be there till 8:30 because they only scheduled the games for 40 minutes, and 12 minutes times 2 times 2 minutes times 4 plus 2 minutes times 4 or 8, because you have a minute break between each point. And figure, let's say there's 4 to 5, 6 points per game, per set, not,
Yeah.
it comes down to it almost takes an hour per game, per set, per split
Yeah.
deck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you've got these guys that went home. They got paid the same amount that some of these other people did. They got paid the same amount and they went home.
So, I mean, it sounds like it just needs to be
It's
one. It sounds like a
managing the
logistical
people.
issue. A logistical issue. Like when it comes down to who's on what field, and especially the webcast field, and what type of people that they're bringing on, and so that's more of a managerial part. And as for the timing of games, I definitely can understand of trying to pack as many games into a day. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
you have to. You want to
You
make the
have
most
to.
money you can.
Yeah, but there's also a time constraint. Do I think that refs that are staying there till the very end, especially refing the webcast field or refing finals, comparatively to refs that are leaving earlier in the day, that the pay should be shifted a little bit? Yes, I do think that not necessarily one should make less than the other, but one should make more than the other because they're spending more hours. Because
So,
correct
Rob,
me if I'm wrong, it's an
Should
hourly
have just
pay.
brought the refs over
let
and
me correct you on something real fast, and
Yeah.
this is only because of the standard that NXL has set.
Yeah.
No one leaves with the NXL except for the exception is World Cup, because we do have an entire dinner set up for all of the referees
That's
throughout the year, and that is sweet. It's something that nice that they have done for us.
Yeah.
We go, we have a dinner, there is a raffle, people win prizes.
Oh, sweet. Okay. They
Some
do it up.
people get flights paid for. Yeah, we do it up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, okay, any of these other events that are not World Cup, no one leaves the field. No one goes home. If you are done, you get shifted to another field. And if your whole field is done and you have nothing to do and it's Sunday, you break down fields. And then when you're done breaking down fields, if there's more fields going, 10 man, there has been time, like multiple times, where I have been the breakdown field. I'm the field that gets done and we break down fields. Yeah, we drink a little bit. Yeah, we smoke a little bit. But at the same time, when we see that there is a whole 2 other fields going and all the other fields are taken care of and we've got 2 fields of referees, like, I turn to my people, I'm like, get on the field, get these guys a break, get on the field, take as many people as you can off, get them off the field. They have been out here and they're aggravated and they're done and they're tired. Get them off the field.
Yeah.
Give them the break that they deserve. That never happened. We were promised 4 referees for hours. You know how many I saw?
So let me ask you this: is this an ongoing issue, or is this just an issue that happened in the last event?
It's honestly an ongoing issue. It's nothing to do with just the MVPS. Like, people disappear, people go home, people just run away and hide. But they shouldn't get paid if they just fucking disappear. Like, everyone should get paid at the same time. I'm sorry. Like, if you're stuck out there, yeah, you have to wait. Sorry, it sucks. Shit sucks. And I agree with getting paid early. If I'm done and I want to get paid, like, I'm going to get paid. But at the same time, like, if you don't have a legitimate reason, like, I'm leaving, I've got to go to work, I've got to catch my flight, like, that happens. But if that's not it, and we're all there till 8:30, it sucks to suck. Embrace the suck.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I mean, a lot of this stuff seems. Correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like it's decently easily fixable with understanding roles and responsibilities and having the conversation at the beginning of the day. Hey, if you're not on the webcast field, that means your field is going to be done early. If you're done early, you got to start breaking down the field. Once the field is being broken down, you got to start rotating out with other guys in the field. I think it's a very common, cool, collected
people
conversation.
management. It is. It really is.
Yeah.
It really, and I don't disagree with you on that. I'm not saying that it's not. It really comes down to a very, very calm conversation and coming down to proper management of your resources.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm very sad that you're not going to be riffing anymore, and I hope you do. I mean, I've met you a couple of times at NXL events as being a photographer. What's it called? Chicago last year we hung out for a little bit because I know that you're riffing the D4 field. We talked about AJ. Saw you at Cup. Saw you at Cup the year before. It was on the D3 field. You know what I mean? Like you're well known. You're well respected. And I think that it's a sad day that you're just gonna up and quit. I do think with how hard it is to find refs, and especially like it's not just hard, not just to find refs in general, but to find good refs that have experience and that can really take those mentor roles to a lot of people that want to move forward with refing, because it's a very we are part of a niche audience in the world of sports or hobbies, whatever you want to call it. And then this is an even more niche section of that audience. So I think you need to sit down and have the conversations that need to be had. I think you might be giving up a little bit too easy. Not necessarily giving up on reffing, but I think I'm giving up on the powers that be to make a change.
I'm not giving up on paintball because I want to watch paintball grow. End of story. Like, this is, without paintball, I wouldn't be here today. I'm going to be completely honest. Without paintball, I would not here on this webcast. I wouldn't be here speaking to anyone here today without that group of people that have pulled me out of the dark times in my life. Like, everyone that goes through shit, but like, without my boys, I wouldn't be here.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to give up on paintball because it is the outlet that people sometimes just need. And it's not even that, it's that accountability and the team building, and just it's something that you can't explain, you know?
Dude, it sounds like you need a sabbatical.
I can't even explain, the stuff that has gone on with the referees. Those are my boys. Like, if you see someone struggling, there's been multiple times. For example, Timmy walked out. He was done. And I get it. I've watched multiple people just walk away, and I never understood why. And it came to a point where I understand. I get it.
Yeah.
The money isn't worth it. I don't care. I would like to watch paintball grow. But I'm not going to get shot at and screamed at and belittled and told that I am nothing and that I am a piece of shit and that I am a moron or any of these anything to watch paintball grow. That's not how you grow paintball. That kind of behavior is detrimental to everyone. If you walk up to a referee and you tell them they're a fucking retard, you're going to get a fucking penalty. And now you're mad at them and they're mad at you. And now you've got a bias that's being built against you. And that is just you. How do you grow a sport that's very toxic?
No, I hear you. I hear you on that. I mean, like, and yes, there are toxic moments. I mean, we've all played video games.
Nothing is more toxic than Dota.
Yeah. Like there are definitely
or COD 4 on the Xbox.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I'm looking at the comments here, and I see O'Nelly asked a very good question. I mean, in your opinion, how do we take the steps to standardize reffing, whether it's getting somebody that's green to be up to speed to where they need to be, especially for just something like
you don't even need to finish this comment, because there comes a point where we have talked about this within the ref community. How do you classify referees to get a certain quality. You're running an event with a division. You're running an event with division 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you want, how many fields you got? You need 8 to 10 referees per field. 10 is preferred. 10 is the preferred referee fieldage because it's the most zone coverage.
Yeah.
So if you're running 4 fields, you need 40 referees.
Yeah.
At a minimum.
Yeah.
So with that, you need 5 to 10 level, and you would rank these referees by level, as you would go and do a certain amount of events, and you would take a certain amount of classes throughout whatever.
Yeah, you've learned how to zone ref, like you've done it.
It's the same thing as taking a license, a test for your license, or keeping a permit as a firefighter. You have to take a firefighter or an EMT. You have to take a test every 6 months to a year to keep your certifications.
Yeah.
So it's the same. How do you do that? We create a fucking ref union, and we're able to then have people that are classified as a certain class of referee. You are this level of referee. You should be and will not work for anything under this amount. Unfortunately, that's what it's going to be, but you're also paying for that quality of referee. A big thing that happened there at the MVPS was we had a lower quality of reffing, in the sense of there was a lot of referees that didn't know the rules. They just didn't know the rules at all. And you didn't see a lot of penalties happen. And as one of my referees explained to one of the actual head staff, is it's consistency. If no one is throwing penalties all day, and then one person is throwing only all of the penalties, where is the consistency?
Yeah.
Where is it? Now you're only yelling at the one guy when he's only covering a certain amount of zonage, because he is supposed to only be covering a certain amount of zonage. But it really does come down to taking the time to classify these referees under a certification within. And we've talked about, do we make an app? Do we make what do we do? How do we do this? Because we want the ability to bring you the best service possible. We don't want a shitty event. We don't want a shitty event for you. We don't want any of that. We want, first off, to run an amazing event and have great calls, and 2, to be treated like fucking people.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of good things being said, and I'm gonna speak my mind a little bit here and go off some of the comments that are happening. One, there is a ref community already, and I think that I think that a union needs to be created? I think those are some lofty goals that potentially maybe one day that'll happen. But there's definitely some sort of Facebook group, I'm assuming.
Solstice Law is one of those groups. Solstice Law is a group of referees that absolutely go out and provide a service, whether it be scenario or freaking speedball. Like Solstice Law does provide referees, and they are quality referees.
Yeah. So, and as for when it comes to some people just not knowing the rules, I think that's an easy fix. And I saw this in the Outback Paintball Series group. Jeff Stein, he made a cheat sheet of rules that players should know, and that the refs that are reffing it, these are it's like a one pager of rules that you need to know.
The hotkey rules. The rules that are the most important.
Exactly. They're the hotkey rules. You know what I mean? And I think it's something as simple as that. It's like, hey, before the event starts, it's like it's literally a one page Word document. Just hand them out the rest. It's like, if you're unsure, here are the fucking rules. Here is what you need to know. Keep it in your pocket. And if you're fucking confused, I don't care if you have to pull it up.
That gets that. I get a fucking flash card. It's a flash card.
Yeah.
And the only thing that actually is on that card is balls per second and feet per second. We're not even talking about like anything fucking else. It's not expected to have any of like why is there not a rule book at the field?
Yeah.
Why is there not a physical copy of the rule book? I understand that you can pull it up on any tablet, on any phone, whatever. But why is there not a physical fucking copy of the rule book there? Here, referee, read this. Here, player, read this. Here, head referee, you're absolutely wrong on this. Oh, I am completely wrong, but there's nothing that I can do about it because we don't replay points in paintball.
So, I mean, go on, Sam.
I was going to say, I will say, I kind of agree with Phil's point about, like I understand there should be a rule book there. There should be, everyone should have that flashcard, great idea.
100%.
All that. But
I
if
agree
you're
with the
at an
flashcard.
event, reffing, getting paid to be there to ref, to provide the players an ultimate experience
You should
of
know the fucking
a good
rules.
event, you should know at least the basics.
The
Correct.
hotkeys.
Exactly. And like there's no
hockey.
reason, like I think that they should supply that, but I think that should be less of a supply for the refs and more supply for the players, because if you're there to make money and get paid, you should have already read those rules and know about those rules.
And that comes down to, why are we hiring people that do not know the rules? Why are we allowing people that do not know the rules to work on certain divisional fields? I'm not saying that they shouldn't work at all, because you cannot teach these people and trial by fire these people and have them grow and learn without experience. You have to be on the field and to learn it. You do, 100%.
Yeah.
But
so
continue. Go ahead.
No, yeah. So I mean, with the trial by fire, it sounds that there almost needs to be a, how do I put it, like a vetting system or some sort of like communication with whoever is going to be the head ref of, we'll say, the webcast field, is like, hey, these are all the bodies that are coming out the ref.
I never know.
Help me. I you know what I mean? And that's something that it could be. That's a very easy conversation that you can talk to whoever the league owner is. You know what I mean? Whether you're reffing MVPS or SPL, I know NXL has CJ and he does that, but he's been doing that for years. You know what I mean? Like, and even for any other local league, it's if you're bringing on a head ref and you know the people who are coming to ref, like, you gotta have the conversation, and especially if you're running multiple fields, your highest divisional field, like that head ref, will most likely know all the people that are coming, and if you don't know them, it's probably because they really haven't refed before, but you still have an understanding of where you should be putting them.
It also comes down to, I've never once been able to select my field. Ever. You're never, as a head referee, ever been able to pick who is going to be on your field. Now, I know that there is a crew of people, and if I knew that they were going to get paid the amount of money that they should get paid to come down and do it, I'd bring them as fast as possible. They would be there. If I said, hey, I need you to be at this event and I'm going to head ref this and we're going to do this and this is exactly how it's going to be, they'll be there. I could pull a field worth of referees and they would be the referees that you would want. I mean, it is absolutely 100% the rules. They've been around for years. They know the rules. They know even
they know how to zone ref, and
even just that. They could explain the old rules to you, where it's like, this doesn't make any sense. Well, back in blah 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 amount of time in this fucking league where this happened, this is no longer, and this is the reason why it changed. You know, like it comes down to stuff like that. You've got these people that are so vetted that you can't bring, because they're, one, not getting paid enough, and two, not getting the respect by players, by leagues that they should. They're just tired of it. Do you know how many people that I have trained under for reffing that are no longer a part of reffing? They're just done.
Yeah. So
there's 5. And that's Florida referees, 5.
So I have something to say about that. 2 things. One, Onell brings up a very good question. I'm going to save that for after what I'm going to say. When it comes to people not, there's a difference between shit talking and there's difference between being disrespectful. Being disrespectful to a ref is not okay. You know what I mean? That is
You can
grounds
shit
for
talk
like,
me all day.
yeah,
I love the shit talking.
but there's
I
a
love the
difference
hating.
between shit talking and being disrespectful. You know what I mean? And when it comes to from a league perspective, that the league needs to lean on and always have the back of the ref, because one, the league is hiring a ref to make these calls, and two, if you cannot put your faith in your ref squad and back them up, who is the law of the land? Okay, so there's that.
There is no law. There is no law. If the league does not back up the referee, there is no law.
Exactly.
And at the same point, it's not always up to the referee, the head referee, as to what is going on in the field. There's a lot of times where you are dealing with something completely different and something else is going on, and you haven't taken notice to any of it. And for example, I know once, not going to lie, once I was distracted and I was having a stupid fucking conversation that could have been stopped, in the sense of the game could have stopped and the bunkers could have been filled. But at the same goddamn point, the fucking scorekeeper is watching the game. Say something or just stop the clock. It's not just... There's a lot of there's a lot of issues that come down to the flow of the game. And if your scorekeeper isn't backing the head ref, and the head ref isn't backing the league, or the league isn't backing the head ref, or the head ref has to deal with referees that have no idea what is going on, and you have to compensate for that. And you're not going to fucking lie to these people like, look, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to tell you what referee is no experience, but there is a lot of unexperienced referees out here.
So for those refs, and this is a question that came from the comments. Are there certain positions on the field where it is best to put less experienced refs?
Backline.
That's where I was.
Backline, corner. The reason why,
10 man.
Yeah. The reason why is because first thing is first, you learn lanes. Because if you don't learn lanes, you're getting shot to goddamn shit all fucking weekend, and you're getting blown up. And if you're not fucking paying attention, you just get blown up, and you just get blown up, and you just get blown up. Then you walk away and you're like, man, this really sucked. Blah, blah, blah. Backline, 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 backline.
Okay. That was my first ref. My first event.
That was my first position ever, was backline.
Backline 10 man.
Yeah, and at a certain point, like, you just start learning, like, there's a lane here. Let me step down. What is this guy shooting at? Let me look downfield. Okay, that guy's shooting at that guy. Okay, let me step down. This guy's going to step into this lane if he decides that he's going to fucking run this way. And it teaches you lane management, and it teaches you field awareness. Lay down is a good position for assessing penalties immediately. But you've also got to have people that won't fall asleep and are not going to just, be lazy on their calls. You've got to have someone that's a lay down that's going to move when the players move, and you're going to have them check off when someone moves, or it's simple stuff. And it comes down to giving a shit about the game.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people get paid and they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. And it's disrespectful to the game. How are you going to hire these people that, one, don't give a shit, and two, don't know the rules? Like, how are you going to provide a service to these people that have paid this money, and you're not going to give them the best service that you can? You just can't. It's wrong. I work for a company that sells nuts and bolts, and we pride ourselves on the amount of service and the quality of the service that we provide. and the strength of the nuts and bolts that we get. Like, and to step away from my day job into paintball and to want to give the best that I can, because I freaking love paintball, man. Like, I love watching these people stab the freaking shit out of each other and run these amazing plays and just balling out, man. But it just comes to a point where it's like, my corner referee has no idea that homie just got shot in the face and I have to run across and like, buddy just wiped it off and I'm going to throw a gross major on him and he's going to argue with me because the referee in the corner called him clean because he got shot on this side of his face and he wiped it off in the bunker and went, "Hey ref, am I clean?" And ref goes, "Yeah, you're clean, whatever." And it happens. Like,
Yeah.
How do you stop that? Easy. You start classifying referees. If you want to ref, it's the same thing as when you're signing up for an APPA, as you're signing up to go play an event. You give your APPA, and your APPA says what rank you are, and you go and play that rank, right? And you're not allowed to play anything else that is above or below. You have a certain amount or whatever that you can play. I'm going to be honest, I don't actually know how APPA works.
You are allowed to play up, just not down, or down, not up. However, that you can play. You can play below. Yeah,
you can play up before pro, and you can play down based on points. Or it's a little more complicated, but that's besides the point.
At the same point, like, how do you bring these referees in if they don't have a ranking? Why would you rank these fools? Rank us. Yeah. My God. Rank us. Give us the rank so that way we can go and ref your event. Fly us out from wherever if we're worth having us flown out. I was contacted by my buddy Otter. He was like, "Please come ref my event in Ohio." I wanted to so badly. I couldn't take the time off from work. I can't leave the state because of COVID. If I leave the state, I have to take 14 days, and it's ignorant. Like, I wanted to go and ref his event and be there because, like, he's ultimating. Like, yeah, I'm going to go back you up, bro. Like, I'm going to bring you an event that's worthwhile, but at the same time, please have the referees that are worth the time. If you're not going to bring quality referees, you're not going to have a quality event. If you're not going to hire people that are worth the time, you're just not going to have it.
So I'm seeing the comments slightly blow up.
5-minute tea break?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Drink a whole ass bottle of wine.
Yeah.
If you, I don't mind. Well,
don't bring us in the bathroom with you.
Don't bring us in the bathroom.
Don't bring us in the bathroom with you. But Sam, I'm seeing in the chat, in the comments here, like, making a standardization ranking of refs is a good idea. It comes down to how does it get implemented, and how is it utilized from an NXL perspective and trickle down all the way to a local perspective. So
I'll give my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
I do think it's a good idea, and I think there are ways to do it. So obviously, if you've been reffing for 10 years and you've reffed 5 NXL events every single year or whatever it was, at a certain point, and it's safe to assume that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You keep being brought back, but also you can put on there, because NXL, they don't just start you on semi-pro. They usually start you D4, D5, D3. They usually don't start you any higher than
3-man or 5-man.
Yeah, and then they'll keep bringing you, moving you around, and they can easily put that on there. If your experience is in 10-man, there's no reason to have you out here. I mean, if you want to be out there reffing 5-man, they think you're experienced enough. But these events that are running these 10-man events, they're going to want the people that know how to ref 10-man, and these people that are like WCPL has the Premier League, so they want refs that are at a caliber that can ref semi-pro players.
Yeah.
I think, as what Phil was saying about new refs, I think starting them at D5 is the best thing to do. And the reason for that,
Absolutely.
slower players, they're not wiping. They're scared to wipe, and for good reason. They don't want to get thrown out of their first events, some of them.
Yeah.
So they're scared to wipe. They're playing slower. They're actually asking you. They might not know the rules as well, so like they might ask you a question, don't throw up a penalty on that, because first, you don't really know that that's not the rule. But also, don't throw a penalty because they're still learning. But if, as Phil said, if you have a ref that has never ref before, there is no reason you should be on the field that is on the webcast, because you make a mistake and everyone that's watching around the country, the world, whatever, sees that ref make that mistake and sees it consistently. And now they're like, oh, why would I want to play this when they have a ref here that's just making the mistakes, and they're not rectifying it.
100%. And I do think that somewhat of an infrastructure is in place. I mean, there's a whole vetting system already, like we talked to Ryan Wilson for NXL, and it's just building out the system from the top down to be incorporated of who's reffing at the national level, what field do they normally ref, division or format, years of experience, and then trickling it down to a more local level, so that I'm in the head ref for this local league, or I'm a ref for this local league. I've been doing it for one or two years, or however many years, and I definitely think that it's very possible, and I think it would be a good addition to the overall ecosystem of tournament paintball, because when you think about it, it's more than just like playing speedball. Like, how you ref big game scenarios is very different to reffing 10-man ICPL or whether it's 3-man at NXL. They are very different formats, and you do need a different quality of person especially from a customer service standpoint of what do they need to be doing. Like, if you're reffing semi-pro NXL, you really don't need to be hurting cats too much. I mean, definitely a little bit, but for the most part, you're on that field because you're one of the sharpest refs out there in your field. Comparatively, if you're reffing 10-man, it's a little bit more laid back. You have good customer service attributes. You're able to deal and handle with certain things, such as the ongoing drinking. A lot of times that is within code. You know what I mean? So I think a database is needed to be made, and I don't know who it would be. I do want to say Chris Rail would be a good resource.
It'd probably be
because you did make APPA, and I do think that making a system like this so that not just the NXL can use, but also field owners can use if they are looking for bodies, whether it's just for like a local tournament or even for like a big game that they're having, or one of these regional series.
And the thing is, with the classification, it doesn't need to be a classification that says you're like an expert level ref. All it needs to have is your years of experience, the positions in the field, and like the kind of field you. It doesn't have to be a legitimate classification. You can sort it.
Yeah, and exactly. And if you've been an ultimate ref or not.
Yeah. Do you have experience? How much experience? Because there's a lot of refs that they become an ultimate for a league, for a event, and then they don't get invited back to be the next ultimate. So how many years? How many events were you an ultimate? If you've been invited back,
sorry, I was listening to everything that you're saying. I'm sorry, but
You're
at
fine.
the same time, so like some of these guys, like, yes, no, correct, you are absolutely correct. Some of these guys have absolutely come out here and been an ultimate and never been invited back because they didn't do it right. They either didn't do it right, or maybe they felt like their treatment wasn't proper, or whatever. But at the same time, like, did they really help the league?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like just having on there that you were an ultimate, it should have on there like how long you were an ultimate for, because
and it doesn't have to say if you're a pro referee or not. It just has to show the levels, the years of experience.
Yeah.
I agree with you completely, Rob.
Yeah, so I think it's all doable, and especially like when it comes to events, that I do think league owners, and I've seen this before, at a local league of mine called TSXL. He leans on his ultimate ref. Whoever is doing it, he chooses his ultimate ref, and he says, "Run your ref squad how you want. Just make sure that everything is run smoothly." Okay, whatever the calls are on the field, I will back you up. if I need to get involved, we'll have the conversation. But I think there needs to be more of a synergistic relationship between leagues and the ref squad, especially from an ultimate ref perspective. And especially when it comes down to, for leagues that are running multiple fields, that there is that body. Like, once again, I'll call it NXL and CJ. He understands his ref squad very well, and he understands the logistics behind it and how to
Well, he
manage
takes the
his refs.
time to ask the questions.
Exactly.
He doesn't just ask like, "Oh, can this person ref? How many years this person ref? Where have they refed? Where any of that?" It comes down to like, he's not just hiring somebody. He's hiring them and knows all of their experience and puts them on the field based upon their experience.
Yeah.
He also does understand that there is a crew, there is a core group, there's a core unit. You as a head referee have your number two. You have your person that you rely on. And if they're there, or you have a group of people that they are your number two, like if they're on your field, you're going to put them as your number two, and they're going to make the decisions on the other side of the field for your referees.
Yeah. So I like I said, I think it comes down to a little bit more communication between leagues and refs, and then understanding this hierarchy of who you could lean on and who, at the end of the day, makes those final decisions.
I want to touch up on something that Thomas Johnson said, and I don't know if it's more of a statement or like a question, but
Hold on, Tommy
feel
Johnson
free to.
comment.
Yeah. He said some ultimate head refs are set up to fail. Remember, you don't get to pick who you work with on your field. Now, I could be wrong. I've never been an ultimate. I ref for like a year, if that. But the ultimate's job is to bring in refs. So
it is.
You can 100% pick who's working on your field if you do your job and bring in the refs.
Yes
right?
and no. Even if I brought my referees in, even if I said, hey, I want these guys working with me, there is a 70% chance, I would say not even 70, a 50% chance that I'm actually going to get them. Like there's a 50% chance.
What I mean is you choosing the squad. So you technically are picking who's on your field.
No,
it's just
never.
No, you don't. No, I'm talking about this ref squad, not your squad on your field. I mean, like if you want to bring in Mike, Tommy, etc., like you bring those guys in, they actually come in. Like you're choosing the ref team, and then it's just up to fate who ends up on your field.
Okay,
that's what I'm. That's what I'm asking.
Let me counter your argument.
I'm just asking.
Okay, asking? No, not really. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The thing is that I could bring all of these guys in.
Mm-hmm.
I could say, hey, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. How much is the pay? If I ask 10 people, I might get 3. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the honest truth. That's the absolute honest truth. And that's not because of even just pay. It just comes down to the years. We're just tired. We're done. Like literally the level of respect. While there is 4 of us that actually know the rules, and there's 10 of us on the field, the 4 of us don't matter because the remaining
6.
Yeah,
should be
the remaining
6.
6 of us. The remaining 6 of us have no idea what the fuck is going on. So the quality of reffing on that field is literal trash, a trash can on fire in the middle of the fucking desert. Like it's the worst possible fucking scenario ever. And that is the thing that you're going to walk away from. No one ever really talks about the good, ever. No one ever focuses on the good. Everyone always remembers the bad. Unfortunately, that's the truth of it. That's human nature. And that comes down to the negativity and everything that has ever been presented to everyone in their entire lives, and never being able to hold on to any positives. But that being said, there should not be 6 referees on the webcast D2, D3 field that have no idea what is going on.
But yeah, I mean that comes to understanding your staff. You know what I mean? And when it's that, I'm I'm going to
And I
keep saying
understand that you
over and over
need to
again. It's
spread the
just
experience.
yeah, you
have
you have to spread the experience so that all fields and all customers, because at the end of the day, it's a business and that this is a
It's
customer
customer
service.
service.
It's
It
customer
is a
service.
customer service job.
Yeah. So I think what happened was just a lack of understanding of the staff and a mismanagement of the staff of spreading out for customer service.
I mean, at
That's
the
what I
same
think it is.
time, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like
Continue.
that. Like I think these are all things that are easily fixable, and it comes down to a conversation, and like especially the week of, if like, hey, who is the ref squad? Because what MVPS is what, two fields or three fields?
4, I think.
Holy shit, it's four fields. Jesus Christ.
They've gotten a lot bigger. They started at 2 fields, and it has been amazing to watch them grow. It really has. It really has been. But me and you can have this conversation all day. We can have this conversation all day.
Yeah. So I mean,
It's not going to change.
if it's 4
unfortunately.
fields, like I think
That's not-
that just whoever's in charge and whoever's supposed to be running the ref squad just needs to have that conversation. It's like, hey, you most likely have a better understanding of who all the players are. And when I say players, I mean who all the refs are and how I should be spreading out the experience. Yes, will there be some weaker refs on the webcast field? Most likely, because you need to spread out the experience so that all customers at all divisions are having a good time. Will you load up
That's
the
it.
webcast? Will you load up the webcast field a little bit more? Absolutely, you should, because it's a higher division and you need the experience so that they can keep up with just the experience of the players. But
That's it, though. You're there to provide a service that is to allow everyone to have first off, a fantastic time, and second off, an unbiased opinion of the game with an in-depth understanding of the rules. And if you're going to be on a field that is going to have a higher divisional, you should have a far more extensive, in-depth understanding of the rules. And it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen anymore. Where it used to, it doesn't. It truly does not. Whereas 3 years ago, I saw people that were from I saw people from NPPL, PSP. I saw people that were the old school referees that knew the rules and even understood the new rules. And it was the level of treatment from the leagues that drove them away. It is not even the players. It is the league that drives away the referee.
Can I just say this? Apparently, Lucas has been asking questions. I haven't seen it, but he did say your beard's looking glorious.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the questions. A little tough, but sorry, Lucas.
Mr. Lucas Sylvester.
No, Blitch.
Lucas Blitch. Oh, I love you too.
So
we had an argument
before we got into that whole spiel. I did want to ask a question that about like the dumbest thing that you've ever been yelled at for. And I was going to say players, but now I'm curious about in general, if someone outside of a player has a player, coach, whatever, staff, league owners, anything, what's the dumbest thing you've ever been like yelled at for, like crucified for? Oh, you're getting closer. You have a story.
I have a medical card.
Okay.
While that medical card doesn't necessarily extend out of the state of Florida.
Yeah.
We were in a state that did allow medical. And it was one of the states that did view, while Florida does not view any state, views no state. You are not allowed to give a fuck. Florida doesn't give a fuck. You got a medical card in any state. We don't give a fuck. We're Floridian. You got a medical card from Florida and Florida only because we're Floridian. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I was at Chicago. and I was smoking, and I had someone take a photo of me smoking my pen.
Mhm.
And they sent a photo to CJ, while that actual pen, the pen that they took a photo of me with, was my CBD pen, because I had at that time a pen that was like a 3-to-1 ratio CBD to 1% THC, and then a pen that was entirely just THC that I smoked before going to bed, because I hate taking ADD medication, and I had been taking ADD medication since the 2nd grade. And if any of you know what Concerta is, that shit is wild. And I took it until probably, I'd say 9th grade. I stopped taking ADD medication in 9th grade, from 2nd grade to 9th grade. And that shit is terrible on human brain development and or social skill development. It's just terrible. Just terrible. They took a photo of me and they said that I wasn't doing my job, and presented it to CJ and Tom Cole and tried to get me fired on Thursday. It was
No.
Thursday. It was Thursday going into Friday. They took this photo, and they were
It's
like,
not even.
sucks.
It's Thursday. It's Chicago. It's not. It's a practice day. Have fun with it.
Correct. It's Thursday in Chicago. It is a practice day. But at the same time, this person took a photo of me. That was the stupidest thing. Like, I got yelled at, and they were like, "Who saw you smoking weed?" Shut up. I know you smoke weed. Like, I know you all. Paintballers smoke weed. Go home. Go home with your shit. Would you rather have these motherfuckers pissed off at you because paintball, or would you rather have them smoke and be calm and then throw penalties for things that are legitimate? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, they did their job properly because they smoked some marijuana. Oh, fucking surprise. And if they can't do their job, then get the fuck off my field.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. That's all right.
I'm the nicest, most aggressive person.
Oh, I know.
Referees.
I remembered a few times you've yelled at certain people, not like at events, but like playing, and it's scary. You get scary when you actually get angry.
Don't get mad.
Oh, don't.
There's no point. The first person to get mad, and I'm going to say this to all of the players that are watching, the first person to get mad in an argument, you've already lost. You've already lost the argument. The moment that you have decided that you are going to let emotion control your argument, you have lost your argument.
Absolutely.
And that comes down to paintball playing, that comes down to relationships, that comes down to talking with anyone. If the moment that you let emotion control your side of anything, you have lost that argument.
Yeah, I agree. As soon as you're no longer rational, and that's what makes you lose.
We're no longer rational. That's it. That's why me and George had a 4-hour conversation.
If you want to elaborate a little bit on that, I've heard the story, but it's never a bad one.
I'm pretty sure that I made a wrong call, and I'm sure that he's going to blast me in like 5 minutes here, because if he's not watching while he's driving, then, I'm sure I'm going to get a message in like a couple hours here. Hey, you're a fucking moron. Yes, sir, George. I love you. You're the best. But I had a conversation with him, and it came down to both of us not understanding this rule, and both of us were actually wrong. Whereas, like, I threw the penalty, and it was slightly correct, but it wasn't at the same time. It wasn't the explanation that I gave was incorrect for the penalty that was actually assessed. And that is part of the job of being a head referee, is being the expert bullshitter. Is you really, like, not only do you have to know the rules, but you have to be able to bullshit, and you have to be able to diffuse situations. And like, I sat on it, and I definitely thought about it. I flew home from Vegas, and then I don't know how he got a hold of me. Honestly, he found me on Facebook, and one day I was like, you know what? You want to have an argument? Here's my fucking phone number. Let's go.
Do you want to know how he got a hold of you?
No, did you give him my phone number?
No, he asked
Absolutely.
me. He said, "What the fuck is that ref's name?" And I told him your name.
I hate you so much. No,
Why?
I
You're
don't.
friends
I love
now.
George. I love George. I really do. He's a fucking great dude. Like, he really is a great dude. Like, and at the same time, he calls me and he's like, "Hey, somebody threw this thing on me," and like asks me questions. And I sit there and I go, "Okay, what did they tell you?" And I go through the rule book real fast and I explain it to him in a way. And at the same time, he'll be like, "So the ref was fucking bullshit." And I'm like, "Yeah, but no, but no,
Yeah.
but no," because I have to back up my referee because
Yeah.
that's my job is to always back up my referee,
Yeah.
whether they're wrong or not. If they're wrong, then I have to eat it. And then I go over to that fucking referee and I tell them, "You're a fucking retard. I can't believe you fucking did this. All fucking wrong. Why the fuck?" And then get in their face and then stop and tell them it was a simple mistake. It happens. And it just level with them. While I say I get in their face and fucking freak out, I really don't.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't. There's no point. There's no point. To belittle somebody is ignorant.
Yeah.
You're not creating progression at that point.
I'm kind of out of questions. I'm sure more will come. I know that Lucas Blitz just said something sad to hear, and I'll read it to you because I know you can't read him. He said, I'm gonna read exactly how he says it because I have no clue part of what he was trying to say because he can't spell, as Thomas pointed out. But
Okay.
he said,
Okay.
"I hope my time as these guys, Phil and the other refs in here, was good, and I wish I could have created a better environment while I was there."
Lucas, you created an amazing environment. And to be completely honest, we had a conversation after this last event about how much we missed you. The only person who did it better than you.
Does he ref? Does he
No,
ref?
no.
No.
No,
Okay.
he plays for the JIT squad.
Does he play for
and the
Jits?
Gridiron Gang, and
I
JITs.
didn't know he played for Jits.
He might play for JITs. I might be wrong.
I thought he played for MVP's Dark Ops.
Yeah, I know he plays for Dark Ops. It's MVPS. I should have played for MVPS fucking Dark Ops, but I
I
didn't.
just said that
because
Alex just
no
joined.
one fucking cares because I can't play paintball.
Ugh.
All right, go
Yeah.
on though. What were you saying to Lucas?
Mr. Lucas actually did take the time to, first off, literally handpick his referees for the event. While it was Mr. Zudel's event, we only had constant contact with Lucas, and Lucas took the time to, one, understand every head referee's problem. And after taking the time to understand the head referee's problem, take a first destructive criticism because we're aggravated and pissed off, and all we know is just rude comments, criticism, into constructive criticism, and turn that into something that would progress into a better event and or better referees and or better treatment. And that was fantastic. And I know he took off time for his child that was just born and everything that just happened with everything going on within his personal life and family. And I understand. I get it. But I'm going to tell you right now, there has not been, besides Patrick Flood, there has not been an ultimate who has given a shit about referees the way that Lucas or Patrick Flood has for any event. Truly. Truly. I love social. I love the guys within XL, but no one has taken the time to level with their referees like Flood and Lucas has.
Hear that, Lucas?
And it really takes a lot. It takes a lot to take the time to listen to all of our fucking ignorant goddamn comments because we're retards. We truly are. We're fucking retards that are just deciding to stand out there and get shot at all day. And to take that kind of comments or criticism or anything and turn it into something constructive, it takes a powerful brain. It really does. And I give all of the credit to both Lucas and Patrick because they did a phenomenal job coming, Patrick, from when they had one field into 3 fields, and it was like, I'm done. I'm good. I had a great time. Thank you very much. And then Lucas took over from 3 fields to 4 fields, and then ran that for 2 years. Like, fantastic job. Love them both. If even if I say that I'm done reffing paintball, if Lucas sat there and said, "Hey, I need you to come ultimate, or I need you to come head ref this," I'd be there. Just because I know the treatment that I'm going to get with them.
Oh, does Rob see something?
Nah, I just hear something in the background. It's okay.
Oh. Well, as I said, I'm kind of finished with any questions I potentially had.
Yeah, no. No, I'm good as well.
I think he has a go. Hold up.
Okay.
Is the electrician still there? Oh! There you go.
Whoa!
I don't know.
Hi, Mom.
I don't know, but yeah, no. I'm all good on the questions. It at the end of the day, it sucks to hear that you're not going to be reffing. I do think that I don't think you should quit. Take a sabbatical. Maybe take the rest of the year
I'm
off.
not quitting paintball. Like I said earlier.
No, I know you're not quitting paintball. I know you're not quitting
paintball. I am
paintball.
quitting the head referee role. I'm done. Someone else can take over. I'll train anyone that wants to take the training. I will take the time, as me and Robert Robert fucking Welch have talked about. Me and Mr. Bobby from Cali have talked about, and me and Timmy Stapleton have talked about before any of this. We need to create something that allows referees to have a level, and you can hire referees at the level and training those referees to understand and or look for things that they wouldn't.
Change.
There has to be the change. The problem is like, where is the capital?
You can probably do most of this work.
I'm pretty sure if I sit here and talk about it enough, someone's going to pick it up and be like, "Hey, we'll do it. Just do it."
Yeah.
If that's really enough to do it, yeah, I'm in. I'll travel to wherever the fuck it takes.
I don't think you
train
need
these people.
Before even that, I think creating a database, utilizing an Excel spreadsheet, I think is very doable and takes very little resources just to get started, just to get the infrastructure started, and especially using resources like Ryan Wilson and CJ to help build the foundation, and then
Wilson's so much more than CJ. I love you, CJ, but Wilson's a little bit more of a. Wilson doesn't have a whole family. CJ has a whole goddamn family.
But what I'm saying, between the two of them, you have a foundation for this database, at least at the national level, and then you can start working. And then
we can talk to Job over in WCPL. We could talk to any of these guys.
Exactly.
And it comes down to creating that database.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to take a backseat from head reffing, I think you should make it your mission to do this. And I think that it requires very little resources to get this started off the ground, and then to make it bigger. I think it's a phone call with Chris Rail so that you can create a platform that is utilized by leagues.
It's funny that you say that because Chris Rail will always back up the referees. Chris Rail,
which is perfect.
And it's amazing. It's amazing. Chris Rail will fight tooth and nail for his referees. He will. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I think if you're going to take a back seat from being a head ref, I do believe that you should be that change for the refs for better. Create this database and create the systems for that refs can sign up so that they can get their name, potentially get more work, and that is a tool for leagues to utilize. It shouldn't
come down to what the NXL does. You pay $50 and you get paid $50 back. It should be
it doesn't. When it comes to certifications, it doesn't even necessarily need to be like that. That could be literally a box that is checked off. Have you gone through the ref certification class? If not, like
Did you get your license to drive the fucking car?
yeah. So
Okay. Did you pass go and collect 200?
Yeah.
I think a big thing that someone could and should do as a paintball ref is start a YouTube channel and just teach these things. I know there's YouTubers. I know there are like Forbesy. I don't know if y'all know who he is.
Forbesy has a TikTok and a YouTube channel that does what? Scott Forbes.
Scott Forbes, and he does a good job.
You would know the name.
Yeah.
Trust me.
If you see his stuff, you'll see. He probably comments on your stuff. He's a good guy.
Correct.
And he does a good job.
He's very active in the paintball community, and it's good to see that kind of activity in the paintball community. My problem is I decided to make my entire everything private because politics and crazy nonsense, and we're not going to get into it because it's not paintball. Yeah. But Mr. Forbesy does take the time to put out TikToks or videos on YouTube that does go over reffing paintball or crazy stuff within scenarios or whatever, just being a referee in general. And even at that, my buddy Desi Johnson, if you ever want any kind of fucking conversation on how to run a scenario or how to manage a bunch of referees for a scenario, get a hold of Desi Johnson. This man puts on amazing events. I've only been to 3 of his events, and I'm going to be really honest. It's amazing. It's the best. I've been to Wayne's World. I've been to Ion. I've been to frickin' oh my God, D-Day over in Oklahoma, and I have never had more fun than at an event in Battlefield Orlando under Desi Johnson. It is networking. It truly is networking on all of the stuff with paintball.
Yeah. So
and even with that, like, how do you pull referees? I know that Desi pulls Solstice Law. I know those guys do a very good job with stuff like that, and they are very active in the paintball community. And they are their own paintball union in their own way.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what I was saying, that's honestly probably one of the best ways you can get that information out there. Is I know like for players, they have their pro players that'll teach them things. For media, they have YouTubers, they have like the group, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And Scott does a good job of teaching, but no one actually has a professional style setup of how they teach. They don't have no one really has that. And if you can create classes that actually introduce people to things, you're going to be the go-to guy. Like, not you, just whoever creates it. You're going to be the go-to person that everyone knows. This is the standardized style of reffing because the new generation of refs have watched this guy. It's like Tech PB. Everyone watched Tech PB when they first started playing paintball. And everybody. Yeah. So
everyone watched the Short Bus.
Everyone watched Short Bus. Everyone watched Tech PB. All that stuff because they were putting out the content that people wanted, and no one was putting out.
Correct.
So
absolutely.
Same thing with ref. If people want to learn how to ref and they have that free right there, it's on YouTube. That knowledge. That's going to start setting a standard, and then people will deviate, but that'll start it.
Power.
Yeah,
knowledge is absolutely power, but at the same time, like, you have to have the person that is going to take the time to put out these videos that are 100% accurate to the rule book that is whatever fucking league they're going to play for. Because a problem is that there is no standardized rule book. NXL has their own rule book, and MVPS follows the NXL rule book, but EPL doesn't, and Social doesn't, and WCPPL doesn't, and I actually can't.
WC does.
CPPL. I think they
do because they're an affiliate.
Oh. Yeah, I think they do. I think that I think they would, especially with everything that happens. Oh my God, Cali Ballers are just as hard as fucking Florida ballers. They play 24/7, just the same as
Mhm.
fucking Florida ballers. We
Florida,
play all
Texas,
the time.
Cali.
Yeah, well, Texas, when they're not getting hit with hurricanes, because we're not getting hit with hurricanes. Thanks, Texas. I'll take that. Thank you very much. We've been hit many, many a time by a hurricane, but you can have it.
Sorry,
But-
I'm just reading a question from Brian Wolf, Verbal.
Yeah, verbal.
He asked pretty much how me and Rob would how do we feel we would do at reffing, doing what we do.
I've reffed
He thinks he
before.
has good.
I've reffed a couple EPLs.
So I'm gonna let Phil answer my portion of that because I don't think I was a good ref. He knows if I was a good or bad ref.
Oh,
so
no. Horrible ref.
I need him to answer that because I never asked. Like I was reffing,
it's a
but like I was still
Sammy,
learning.
Sammy, I love you.
And there's the answer. Dude, you don't have to go any farther. Everyone that watches knows what you're about to say. You're good. You're done.
You're fucking shit. But at the same time, I will ask you, zoom in on that.
Zoom in on what?
Zoom in on, yeah, exactly. Zoom in on that. And you're like, zoom in on what? Zoom in on that. Well, zoom in on what? Okay, bye. I'm running off into the middle of the fucking field. Hey, show me that. Show me that right now. And that's a head ref trick. That's a head
confused.
Ref trick. I'm gonna let you run on a head ref trick. You got camera guys next to you. You got somebody taking a photo in the middle of the field. Hey, take a photo of that right now. What is that? Okay, bye.
Yeah, I actually did. The other at MVPS actually, Phil had a question. He said, "Did that guy spin, or did he get? Was it a clean shot?" And he was asking another ref who really didn't know. He wasn't watching that lane or whatever.
Didn't Julian get in trouble with that because of the?
Well, no, he got in trouble for showing them the players.
Did I use any of your information in my?
No, you went and checked. You went and checked, but you wanted to make sure that it was a trade and not a spin, because you would have figured out what it was. And I showed him the picture that showed the player was already facing in that direction and followed the shot, not spun. He still went and did his job. He just wanted to make sure that the proof was there so he didn't throw the wrong call.
That's
correct. I do have, if at the same point, like I've got a photographer next to me. I know you caught that. Like I threw a penalty. I'm gonna go off of my call on the field. Always. But at the same time, hey, I know that you got this in the most clearest definition, better than my own goddamn eyesight. What did that look like? Let me get a rundown on that. Okay, my call was correct. Cool. At the same time, like I'm never gonna present the information given to me by you or any other photographer, because I have to, one, back up my own call, and two, back up my referee's calls. Whether they're wrong or not, I have to eat it. I have to fucking eat it. If I can't correct it, whereas certain times, like somebody has thrown a major and I've run directly at the referee and almost spear tackled the referee and said, no, it's only a minor, and just thrown them to the ground. No, like I'm not like, I have tackled referees. I have to stop. Do not pull another goddamn body. You are absolutely wrong. Don't do it.
Fair enough.
But no, Sam is trash. Sam is trash. It's better at photography.
Oh, thank you.
I love you. You're just better at capturing the moment versus like, I need to understand what this rule is right now. I need to access database to throw whatever penalty and or assess whatever fucking judgment. Like, take better photo. You are amazing at understanding field awareness and where the play is going to happen. But you don't understand the fucking rules.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
You just can't.
I like to think I have a decent understanding.
Yeah. But we are just about at the 2-hour mark. This is way longer than I expected, but I'm very happy that we had this conversation. It's very enlightening. It brings a different perspective, and especially the understanding of the reffing community, how it kind of coexists with leagues, some of the hardships that you as a head ref and the refing community faces, and really what it takes to have a better relationship, and it really comes down to communication and
It really does. I
understanding
agree
the
with you,
tools.
Rob. It does come down to communication with the leagues to the referees and taking the time to understanding one, your referees and their level and their skill level and putting them accordingly on the field. And it comes down to simple, basic human needs. It is illegal in the state of Florida to work, what, 8 hours and not have a 30-minute break?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Sam. So even as an independent contractor, you should have a 30-minute break no matter what. Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah,
happen. It doesn't happen. You
it's
know
either
how
8 or
often
10
I have
hours, but
5-minute lunch?
regardless.
5-minute lunch, 5 minutes. You're going to run 5 minutes. That's it. That's all you got. 5 minutes. You know how often that happens?
Pretty often.
I mean, yeah,
More times than I'm willing to admit.
very.
Yeah. So,
Rob, do you want to ask your final question?
yeah. With that being said, we have one final question that we
Is
like
that
to
for my
ask
mom?
that we like to ask every guest. Um, this is stories from the sidelines coming out of the media gang. Um, do you know what the media gang is and what we're trying to accomplish with this venture? I like to think that you do because you know Sam pretty well,
I do.
but
I think I know for a fact that what we are trying to do with this venture is come to understanding with everyone, with in the sense of players talking to referees, referees talking to players, with league owners talking to anyone. It comes down to growing and expanding the sport because we're already an extremely scrutinized group of individuals. We are a bunch of hooligans. We are a bunch of deviants. We're a bunch of fucking retards that run around with guns. And it is hard to grow this sport. It is hard to even the sense of like people don't talk. People don't talk nowadays. It comes down to texting or emailing or messaging. We don't have face-to-face conversations. People just don't. Like you don't understand the other side of the grass. The grass is greener on the other side, but you never see the other side of the grass. So to take the time to actually speak to everyone, be it the league owner, the referee, the player, the coach, the media, whatever it is going to be, to take that time and actually talk about paintball in its true form, in its raw, unfiltered form of what paintball is the only way to actually truly understand paintball. I can sit there and talk to my coworkers all day long about paintball and they will never understand. But if I sit here and talk about any of these things to any of these people that actually have played paintball or done an event, they know 100% what I am talking about, always. Because they've seen it, they've been through it, they have experienced it. And the problem is we are a dying breed. Paintballers, paintball fields, paintball. And I don't want to see it go, man. Like it's tough. It's tough to say even to myself, like, I don't want to ref anymore. Like I'm gonna be there for my boys, but like I don't get shot anymore. I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I would just much rather like get people onto a field that know what the fuck they're doing. I would much rather take the time and say, hey, no, you have to take this break. Hey, you have to do this. Hey, you have to do that because and move this games to these fields, move whatever it's got to be to facilitate not only the players because they've paid money. They have paid money for a service, and you should provide the best service possible. Like it's tough. It's tough in this day and age because no one really actually cares. No one cares. Money is the true evil, and we will continue to just let these ignorant freaking things slide because money paves the way.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It really does. Unfortunately, as much as I would love, and as everything that we have talked about, we could sit here and talk about this forever. Am I going to get contacted by anyone to say anything versus like, how can we fix this? You know, am I going to get contacted by a league to say, I really appreciated everything you said, or I really understand what? No one fucking cares. Unfortunately, I've done it since 2013. I've been in it. I've been part of the machine. I've been a cog in the machine that runs paintball forever.
Yeah. You've played a very pivotal role. There's no doubt about it.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
there are people that care. Without a doubt, that there are people that care.
There are a lot of people that care, but those people are not the people that are cutting the paychecks, and those people are not the people that are hiring people. Those people are not.
They're not in a position for them to do anything about it.
Yeah.
They're the people that are still playing the event. They're the people that are standing on the sidelines. They're the people. That's it.
And like I said before, you've now put yourself in a position to be the change. Be the change. Do what's best. Do what's best for your community. And that's all you can hope for. You know what I mean? That's all you can try to do.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's truly it. You are absolutely correct. You have to be the change that you want to see.
Yeah. You've put yourself in a prime position to do that. And with that being said, we really want to thank you so much for taking the time. I mean,
Rob,
you gave us 2 hours today.
Thank you very much for the time to actually sit on my soapbox and bitch about nothing.
Absolutely.
But you guys are amazing, and I hope to see you guys continue to grow and even grow the sport of paintball and continue to talk to all of these fools that do all of this. And even maybe in 4 years' time, let's talk again.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm completely open to that.
Happy to do that.
You guys, Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk. I appreciate you both.
Of course.
Sam, it's been wonderful to watch you grow. As on a personal level, it's been wonderful to watch you grow. Yo, I love you. I miss you, man. I miss you. Rob, you're coming down to Wayne's World. End of story. End of story.
I'll try. I'll try.
No try. I'll pay for you. We're going to Wayne's World.
Okay. Hit me with some details, and we'll make it happen. There's
no details. I'm going to just tell you to be, and that's it. Be here at this time, and that's it.
Sounds good. I like it.
All right.
All right. But thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the viewers. We've had a ton of viewers this entire podcast. Can't thank everybody enough for tuning in. Some people have been here for over an hour. This has been another episode of Stories from the Sidelines coming out of the Media Gang. And we have some more people coming up soon, some really interesting characters that we're super pumped to have on the podcast. So please stay tuned. It's going to be a good time. Peace out, everybody.
Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.